A few months ago, deep into lockdown, I decided during the span of 24 hours to watch every single nostalgia Critic movie. It was one of the dumbest decisions I've made in my whole life. It only brought me pain and suffering for those 24 hours. I think they should abolish the death penalty and instead add a new form of punishment where someone is tied down and forced to watch to boldly flee every single day until they die. And today, I'm here to report to you that I decided to repeat my mistake, for I am an idiot. Because I just watched Nostalgia Critic's parody/review of one of my favorite movies of all time, Mad Max Fury Road. And, yeah, I have some pretty strong feelings about it.
Oh, what a glaze! What a lovely glaze!
No, this isn't good. I should quickly point out that this video is sponsored by Shinesty, a company that makes the most comfortable boxers I've ever worn in my whole life. You should go and buy them right now, right here, right now. Shinesty.com, go buy them right here, right now. They're genuinely really comfortable though. These bad boys are made from this unbelievably smooth material. It's just so nice to feel them and walk around in them. Their ball hammock underwear even has a little pouch to keep all your good stuff right where it's supposed to be. And if you go to their website, you'd notice that they have a whole bunch of crazy designs, like hot dog, for example. Yeah, and a very cool and important detail, if you don't like the first order that you get from them, they offer a full money-back guarantee. So there is literally zero risk. So just go, buy it right now, see if you like it, see what's up. Click on the link in the description and use code PINELEAF for 10% off your first order. Thank you, Shinesty, for sponsoring this video. Thank you very much. Let's talk about this movie right now. I'm pretty upset about it. So let's kick this off by talking about the premise of this whole beautiful short film. It's very odd. So Critic is apparently being hunted down like an animal by all the bad guys in Mad Max Fury Road. And these guys, man, they go pretty far. They send like cars after him. They send guys that don't have a lot of hair on their heads. They try to kill him, essentially. That's what they're going for at the end of the day. But why? What crime did Nostalgia Critic commit to deserve this sort of punishment? What did he do? Could they be angry because he made piece of shit movie to boldly flee? Well, I don't think that's the case.
I am the one who runs from both the fanboys and the haters. I mean, it's good. Really good. But is it the masterpiece everyone praises? Hell, I have to be careful. Even just thinking that can piss off some extreme fanboys out there. Probably.
This title card right here is just straight up lying. This isn't a review of Mad Max Fury Road. I mean, yeah, there are some crumbles of a review here and there, but for the most part, this is just a review of other people's reviews of Mad Max Fury Road, which is a bit confusing. As we've seen in this clip, the critic is apparently not happy with people thinking that Mad Max Fury Road is a masterpiece, which in my opinion it is. I mean, I have a poster of it back home. I'm in an Airbnb right now. I think that it is one of the best action films of all time, of all cinema history. I think it's magnificent. So, you know, with my expectations as a viewer back home, when Doug says that this isn't a masterpiece at the end of the day, when he makes this whole short film about this thing, I'm expecting to be hearing some pretty hot takes from this guy. Some pretty hot and spicy opinions about this movie. But alas, there are no hot takes to be found, because while Critic doesn't think that Fury Road is a masterpiece, he does think that it's just a very good movie.
I mean, it's good. Really good.
Yeah, sorry everybody. It's not a masterpiece, it's just a very good movie. Go suck on that, you bunch of idiots. He thought that the difference between very good and a masterpiece was enough to make a short film where people try to kill him.
What's this we hear about you hating Fury Road?
I never said I hate it, I thought it was good.
Good!
I think that making such a big fuss over this little distinction is something that an insane person would do, and Honestly, I'm all for it. I mean, I can't lie, I do agree with a lot of his critiques of online criticism culture, though it is a bit funny coming from the nostalgia critic. One of the groups of people who are chasing our protagonist at some point are internet dudes who really hate seeing powerful women in movies. Well, I'm pretty conflicted over here, because on one hand, I feel like adding these dudes is just one more instance where Doug Walker gets sidetracked from actually reviewing this movie, but on the other hand, I mean, these guys really remind me of the YouTuber The Quartering, which I hate, and it's pretty funny to see guys like him getting dunked on. So, I'm gonna have to give him some points for that. So this short film kicks off with a montage of the real villains of this movie, which are obviously people who really enjoyed another movie.
This movie was incredible!
Are movies, and then there's Fury Road.
It kicked our asses so much it kicked our mama's ass.
No other film will ever be better than Fury
Sitting in
Road.
the theater like this.
Fury Road is the greatest film ever, and I have not even seen it
Oh
yet.
my god, this is the greatest movie I've ever seen!
Hey, pause the video, wait a second. This isn't just a random reviewer they found online. That's just Doug Walker in a wig. What the hell? Potential drinking game, take a shot every time Doug Walker wears a wig on your screen. Yeah, drink for the last one as well. Go ahead. One of my favorite bits about this movie has to be the incredible visual effects that they have going on. If you watch my channel, you know that I'm essentially a visual effects expert, so I can definitely appreciate a master at work when I see one. For example, in this scene, when the nostalgia critic manages to escape from his captors.
Ride, my beloved fanboys. Show him a world of excess testosterone.
Why is the background moving like that? It's genuinely giving me motion sickness.
Watch it! You watch it!
This is a disgusting frame, man. This frame, Jesus Christ. Just get this out of my face as soon as possible, please.
You're with me! Here, apply the never fully explained silver chrome. This isn't chrome, it's cake glaze. Oh, what a glaze. What a lovely...
I watched the Cat in the Hat movie before watching Doug Walker's Mad Max, and I really see a lot of resemblance between these two pieces of art. To sort of try and engage the reviewers, both Doug Walker and Cat in the Hat try to create this sort of, I don't know, nonsensical chaos.
A monster? Where? That could have gone better.
Oh, what a glaze. What a lovely glaze! Yeah, that's the one we're going with, blow me.
And by doing that, I think they believe that the less people understand what's going on in front of them on their screen, the more they're having fun. But let me tell you, I'm not having any sort of fun.
Jesus! Get back here, you fucking nuts! Crap! Hand me another exploding stick!
We ever made bazookas?
Exploding stick!
Yeah, I know this is supposed to parody how fast-paced and adrenaline-filled of a movie Mad Max Fury Road is, but that's exactly the thing. Mad Max Fury Road is already a very fast-paced movie, and the second you go over that line, things just become kind of messy. Yeah, I think I read somewhere that they actually got the guys who made the visual effects for the new Dune movie to work on this. And, I mean, you can really tell they even got the same kind of dunes and everything. I got jump scared from looking at this shot. Now, yeah, I do get and appreciate that this is a very low budget production. Channel Awesome, for obvious reasons, doesn't have the same kind of budget that a major studio would have. I mean, I wouldn't expect that in a million years. But you gotta admit, this is pretty funny. It's not even the fact that the effects are, you know, unrealistic or whatever. It's just the fact that they look unbearably ugly. All the colors here really suck. They got this disgusting, saturated orange going on, contrasting with this rancid looking blue. They somehow managed to make blue, one of my favorite colors, look bad. The thing is, in the original Mad Max Fury Road, they're essentially using the same kind of colors, but over there, it looks gorgeous. So here's a suggestion on my end, a bit of a CGI trick that I used in my business. To fix this, Doug can take a screenshot from Mad Max Fury Road, paste that onto Photoshop, use the eyedropper effect, you know, sample both of these blues and oranges that they have going on, and then use that specific blue and orange for his movie. Boom. Fixed. I bet this looks incredible. Now, this short film, like any other cinematic masterpiece, has lots and lots and lots and lots of characters. Some people may say too many, but these guys are dead. I killed them. So yeah, I'm gonna go over every single one of these people. First of all, most important character that we have going on is obviously the Critic, the king of all time. I mean, this guy is essentially filling in the role of Max in this parody movie. The main difference between the two of them is that while Max is more of a kind of silent protagonist, the Critic can't stop screaming all the goddamn time.
Jesus! Will you watch the fucking road?
Now, Nostalgia Critic doesn't only take on the role of Mad Max in this movie, he also takes on the role of Neo from The Matrix and Jesus Christ. The Critic is essentially living in this world filled with a bunch of stupid fucking dumbasses who all think that Fury Road is the best movie in the Mad Max franchise, when in reality, according to Doug Walker, Beyond Thunderdome is actually the best one.
It's not about the logical necessity, but the excuse to display the amazingly action-packed, awesomely awesomeness.
Honestly, I always thought Thunderdome was the best one. And enjoy your Thunderdome!
Thunderdome.
Actually, I like Thunderdome the best.
Thunderdome.
Thunderdome!
Oh yeah, we also got Curiosa, who's supposed to be a parody of Furiosa from the movie. I have a feeling that she got her name because of this one joke that Doug wanted to do.
What's your name?
Curiosa.
Curiosa? Aren't you curious how I can like Thunderdome more than the other films?
And I'm pretty confident in that theory. After this though, things get so much more complicated. We got the group of Mad Max Fury Road fanboys who look like this. This group includes this guy, the leader, who has a thing on his costume that says, "Don't stop watching," and #1 fan. Yeah, lots of subtle storytelling going on here. We then got these two bald freaks that we saw running amok earlier. I still can't tell you if these are two different bald guys, or is this just one bald guy cloned using VFX Jack and Jill technology? So yeah, let me know what you guys think about that in the comments section. I'd really love to hear you say what you think. Oh, and then, shot time, we got this guy who is actually Doug Walker in a wig. He is essentially the same as the Nostalgia Critic, but somehow he goes even louder.
Boost the engine with some intense fast motion stare!
Outside of that group, we got Michael Bay, the Michael Bay, who is actually Doug Walker in a wig again.
Michael Bay, the master of action here. Now,
Lots of people all the time like to stop me in the street and ask me, "Hey, Pinely, why is Michael Bay important to Nostalgia Critic's Mad Max movie? In what way is he actually advancing the plot?" And every single time I tell these people, please leave me alone. I'm trying to rewatch Nostalgia Critic's Mad Max Fury Road. There's a group of Tom Hardy fangirls who I don't remember any of their names, and they don't really matter that much because none of them is actually Doug Walker in a wig, so get them out of my face, please. Then we got the group of guys who are essentially the Quartering. Yeah, I mean, I don't care about them all that much either. And lastly, how can I forget? There's a guy who can shoot laser sharks from his eyes. I forgot about this one while recording, but also Barack Obama. The reason I decided to go over all these characters is because this is just a 30-minute film. And in 30 minutes, he tries to cram in like 30 billion trillion million characters. That's too much, in my opinion. The introduction of these characters is absolutely relentless. It's like every single second, Doug comes up to me and he's like, hey, check this guy out. Isn't he funny? Do you like his shtick? Do you like what he's doing? Haha, look at this guy. He's a cool guy. You can make your point without having too many people running around at the screen at all times. Talking about making your point, let's try together to fully understand what is this dude even saying here? What are his actual criticisms towards this movie? Now, I have no idea if what I'm about to say is actually true or not. I'm just going off of a vibe that I have, of a feeling that I got. But when you watch this short film, you genuinely get the feeling that Doug's need to review this movie really gets in the way of what he really wants to do, which is, I don't know, just make a fun short film with his friends. After all the crazy chaos stuff that happened at the beginning, where this goddamn wall explodes and this car is going out of it and this person is screaming and that person is screaming, everything suddenly comes to a halt. Well, these two sit in a car and Nostalgia Critic gives his critiques of Fury Road. It feels almost like a chore to him at this point. You really get the sense that this is not what he wants to do at that point in time.
Okay, so we know the Mad Max movies take place in an apocalyptic future where ex-cop Max loses his family. And an adrenaline on road, he saves the abused wives of a religious dictator who controls.
You do have a penis, don't you?
Okay, but 96% on Rotten Tomatoes grade?
Oh, it got 96%? That's awesome.
Yeah, until you realize that according to the critics, that technically means it's better than Pulp Fiction, Fargo, Jurassic Park, Exorcist, Die Hard, Hunt for Red October, Terminator 2, and every Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah, you know what? I love a bunch of these movies, and I still like Mad Max Fury Road more than a bunch of them. I don't think that's that much of an insane comment to make.
Really?
I think people got so hyped up on the adrenaline that they forgot it's just a simple chase movie.
I've never been this offended by a claim in my whole life. Just a simple chase movie? Just a simple chase movie? Are you insane?
I just thought it was short on story and not very practical.
You know, lots of his criticisms boil down at the end of the day to two things. One, this isn't as good as Thunderdome.
It broke up the action with good writing and twists and turns. It was just better storytelling.
And you know what? I'll give him that. I haven't seen Thunderdome. I don't care. And two, this thing lacks a whole bunch of story. This movie that doesn't even have any story. It's just a bunch of people driving in cars. Nothing's happening. That's one of his main critiques, that and the fact that we don't get enough background about some of these people.
Who are the people on the stilts in the swamp? What is the basis behind this crazy cult religion? Who are the people he hallucinates about?
Psycho Mantis.
None of this is ever talked about.
Do we really need to get a thorough description of the background of every single thing in the movie? Or can't we just try to piece out stuff ourselves and use our imagination? That seems pretty fun in my opinion. Yeah, we don't really get a hyper-specific explanation of the background of this guy and how he rose into power, but at some point one of the characters in the movie says something along the lines of, yeah, he's the guy who killed the world. Damn, that's pretty interesting. We can try to piece out so many things because of that. Maybe he's a descendant to a rich family that turned the world into this nuclear wasteland that it is. Maybe using their money they managed to get a hold of all this firepower and water that they have. Who knows? But it's pretty cool to think about in my opinion. While watching Fury Road, us the audience are put in a very, very similar position as the characters in the movie. They were just born into this world. They don't really know fully what's going on and how they were led into this position. And that's pretty cool. I think that's awesome. Curiosa that sat next to him ends up bringing a pretty similar point. So I have no clue what opinion does Doug actually hold about this thing. And regarding the storytelling,
Short on story and not very practical.
Fury Road in its essence is a story about holding on to hope when it doesn't make any sort of sense. We see it at the beginning of the movie when the water breaks out of the citadel onto the dry desert. And we hear this serene music. Everything feels so peaceful for a moment. We see it in a plant growing out of a skull. We see it in Furiosa, who against all logical reasoning missing decides to risk her life to find the home that she was kidnapped from 20 years ago. We see it in Max, who despite losing everything that matters to him, regains that hope and manages to help the people who are around him. I think this movie has a beautiful story, and dubbing it as just a simple chase film, it's just a bit insulting in my opinion. Even if it was lacking on story, which it isn't, I'd say that the action in this is anything but simple. Oof, man, what a snooze fest, huh? I guess this is as good as time as ever to talk about the jokes that are in this thing. It might have been a bit harsh on my end to judge the CGI in this, but, you know, jokes don't cost any money. Though I think that in total I laughed way more from the random shots of the cars driving in this than any of the jokes that were told. I decided to compile some of my favorite jokes from this film.
Drive!
Worst braces ever.
Worst braces ever. Look, everybody. Look, we got Braces McGee over here. Worst braces ever.
Just drive!
Says who?
My foot!
My foot. What? His foot is saying that you should drive. Feet can't talk. So yeah, I mean, the jokes either boil down to stuff like that, or they just end up being just straight up references.
Treason! Betrayal! And enjoy your Thunderdome!
Treason! Betrayal! An imperator gone rogue!
Like, yeah, they're just repeating a thing that they said in the actual movie. That's a line from the movie. What am I supposed to do with this? He does this all the time to sort of substitute for a joke. He did that as well in To Boldly Flee, where they just rip off whole sci-fi movies and just kind of repeat word for word things that they said in a scene. In general, in any kind of artistic creation that involves joking around, you'd always want that the jokes that you're telling to be part of what makes the story move forward. You'd never want the jokes to completely stop the pacing of the movie and just kind of, you know, stall what's going around. There's that one bit where Doug makes fun of girls who like Tom Hardy because he's hot, and I don't know, man, that scene is just obnoxious and really, really pointless.
And you don't think any of that stems from mere physical attraction?
No, since he's a feminist, it would be hypocritical to love him just for his looks.
But Tom loves dogs.
The Tom loves dogs.
Do you know how hard it is to find a man who likes dogs?
You can't help but ask, why? You know, why is this here? What is the point of this? What are you doing to me?
Oh, praise he.
This video is gonna be my Joker origin story. This is how I become the Joker. That's it. I'm the Joker, baby. Put a damaged tattoo on my head, please. After that bit that already lasted too long, we move on to the Meninist gag. We're seeing the Meninists, as Doug calls them.
Yeah! Max was barely in the film!
And now these guys are also talking about a bunch of stuff I don't care about. And then goddamn Michael Bay, who's actually Doug Walker in a wig, pops up. And he's also talking about a bunch of stuff. Like, why? What a mess. I don't know what Doug is going for. Is he trying to make a parody? Is he going for a review? Is this a short film? Is this a stand-up routine? Is this all these things together? I don't know, but I guess it definitely is ambitious. To try and dig in a bit more about what's going on with this, I decided to watch the making of this thing, the 50-minute long behind-the-scenes video that they decided to release. And if you really care about the deep lore of this movie and how they made it, I'd recommend watching it. But if you don't, do stay away from this thing, because it is really boring.
When you stop being a child, you'll open the door.
Yes! Tricks are here. It's a little cold balls. They used to be actual fruit shapes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. What if we can't see the fruit shapes anymore because we're no longer
I can't even hear what this guy is saying. Something about fruit shapes? If anyone can lip read in the comments, Please let me know what's going on over here. I have a theory that this isn't even edited. I don't think I've seen any cuts in this video or anything like that. It might just be that this is how long it took them to film this thing. But one cool thing about this video is that with it, we can essentially discover lots of the hidden messages and secrets that Doug has hidden throughout this video. For example, there's one bit where Doug Walker tells one of his Meninist actors to type on his phone on the Twitter app with his middle finger instead of his normal typing finger.
Jason, type it just sounds lamer. Jason, type with your middle finger too. I think I like that. You know, yeah.
Now, as you may know, in many cultures, the middle finger is essentially a symbol for the male reproductive organ. So Doug's direction in this is pretty genius. He's essentially telling us through this small gesture that this guy is obsessed with showing his masculinity to everyone around him.
Jason, type with your middle finger too.
How does Nostalgia Critic conclude this video? He says that he actually likes it at the end. Well, he liked it from the beginning, but he says that he agrees that it's a masterpiece, I think.
Well, I've learned what a phenomenal film Fury Road truly is, and that it has earned its place rightfully in film history.
This is a short film about a man who gets hunted down for thinking that a movie is really good, but not a masterpiece. That's the one conflict that we have going on here. And it gets resolved by him just saying at the end, like, I think it is a masterpiece. Never mind, forget what I said at the beginning. What the fuck? From the get-go, the whole driving force of this story was pretty bizarre. I mean, what is this difference really something to make a big fuss about? But even that was demolished at the end. What have I done with my time? You know, I've watched this whole thing and I still have no idea what is Doug's actual opinion about this movie. I watched a whole thing made by him, 30 minutes long. What do I need to do? Do I need to watch the 45-minute long sibling rivalry video about this that he did with his brother? Is that what I need to do to understand what is Doug's actual opinion about this whole thing?
I'm a dog! I'm a lovely dog!
Mad Max is back to save a bunch of women from this evil overlord, and that's about it. That is the movie in a nutshell, and probably the most ambitious yet kind of storyless Mad Max ever.
Okay, I guess this is it. I'm the Joker now, baby. Hey, feel free to subscribe to this channel, that'll be pretty great. And follow me on Twitter, where I tweet stuff like this. Ooh, this is incredible. Feel free to watch my last video that I made with Nick is Not Green about Guava Juice's insane and supposedly child-friendly videos about the show Squid Game.
Got your mask!
Got your mask.
Oh my god.
Link is in the description. And besides that, goodbye.